So my story begins the fall of 2002, and I was living and working in Arlington, Virginia. And walking distance from my house, 5 minutes, was a yoga studio where on Sunday evenings, teacher Alex would lead us all through meditation exercises. I really was enjoying the meditation class. I've been having a really hard time in life. My mother had died a year earlier. I was single, living in Arlington. You know, where's my life going? So I was really enjoying this class, and I felt like it being on a Sunday was a really good way to wrap up the week and then get a jump start on the week to come by going to this Sunday class. So I go to this class, and because of where I lived in North Arlington, majority white, suburban-ish, area, the majority of the people in the class were white women. But one day, here comes a brown woman, and so I just kind of spied her, like, yay. Another person of color, and I thought maybe she was South Asian descent, and she seemed kind of shy, and so, in class we just nod and, smile, just basically what everyone did to each other, nothing more than that. And so at one point, the teacher Alex asked us to pair up and do a relaxation exercise with a partner. And so this shy woman and I paired up, and that's where I found out that her name was Radhika, R-A-D-H-I-K-A. And so we did the exercise, all well and good. So now we had a little more to go on, but still just basically smiling and waving, as we came into class and left class. So as the weeks went on, I would see Radhika out in the world a lot by herself at a distance. I was going to my own job in Arlington, which is about a mile away from the yoga studio. And she was walking in front of my office building, which is the Nature Conservancy, and just by herself in the distance. And so I was like, okay. And I'd see her in other spots in Arlington. It's okay, we both lived in Arlington, clearly, no problem. But then I started seeing her in D.C. And I didn't see anybody else from the class like that, or maybe I just didn't notice, but I felt like, I've been in class with these people, but I kept seeing her. So she's at Gallery Place, Chinatown Metro Station, walking by herself. I was like, oh, okay, all right. So the fall rolled into January 2003. I decided to take a vacation to Los Angeles. So, you know where this is going. So, I go to Los Angeles to meet up with my friends who live out there, and midway through the vacation, they drop me off at the Getty Museum in Los Angeles. There's this monorail kind of a system that takes you up this mountain to the museum itself. So I spent a few hours there browsing the collections, European art and paintings and sculpture, Middle Ages through the present. And I spend more time outside because they have these beautiful grounds, because having 70-degree weather in January was just an amazing thing. I'd never been off the East Coast, and it was beautiful in Los Angeles. And then I just decided I need to go back home, meet my friend down at the bottom of the hill. There are these two lines for the monorail trolley thing. And I get into one line, and I casually look to the left at the other line, and there she is, standing in line, in California, in Los Angeles. And so I yell out, I was like, Radhika! And she looks at me, and her eyes get really big, and we run to each other, and we hug, and we're like, what is this? Why are you here? What is this? La la la. And I try to get her to come back to my friend's house with me, because, then we can talk some more. I can introduce her to my friend. It's like, I met somebody from my town who I know here in Los Angeles. She has to go on her business trip, though. She has to keep traveling up north to go do her business. And I go back to my vacation. But we promise each other, yes, this means we're supposed to sit down with each other and talk about something, because this is just too much. So, a couple weeks later we do. We meet at a coffee shop and we start talking. We find that there are definitely some more coincidences happening. Find out that for both of us, it was our first time going to that museum and our first time in Los Angeles. And I find out that we both work for environmental organizations at the time. And then the strangest coincidence, I think it's even maybe more strange than the meeting in Los Angeles, is that we both interviewed to live in this two-bedroom, two-bathroom apartment with this really kooky woman that just, She said no thank you because she saw the kook. And I said, okay, and I was living with her at that moment because I had no other options at the time. The money, the money she was asking for was right. And so from that point, we were buds. We hang out and have dinner hangouts and talk about our lives and our loves and all of that stuff. And we still do. It's 10 years later. It's 10 years later. And I was talking with her last night. And I was telling her I was going to do this story today. And she said, well, what do you think it meant? What do you think it meant that we met in Los Angeles? We showed up at the exact same time in Los Angeles like that. Do you think that there's supposed to be something happening? And I said, well, I don't know. Anything could unfold. The fireworks moment, still could be coming in terms of what our relationship is. But I also think that whatever, we are living what is supposed to be out of this situation, We're still friends after 10 years, We had that crazy chance meeting in Los Angeles. And so what I take from it, the whole thing, is I need to just stay open. I need to slow down and pay attention to people, pay attention to my life, listen, because I don't want to miss anything like that. I don't want to have a life so jam-packed full of stuff and things and do and go that I miss stuff like that.